Boom. Reminisce.
Reminisce over you, my
Traditions. Yeah, man, carrying the tradition of St. Kofa because we gotta bring back what we may have forgotten and bring back what is useful. And there's always moments to reflect so we can prevent things from happening that wasn't beneficial in the past. So we here may do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live Eastern time, carrying those vibes from Toronto worldwide. What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. But I'm gonna just get my light going here. I'm just a little bit off, man. I'm just a little bit off. Like
Okay, okay.
I'm doing all. My health is all right, but just my energy, my focus is just a little janky in the last week or two, and I'm acknowledging it, and I'm honoring it.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stay in it forever, but I'm just recognizing it and just trying to move through it.
You
Looking
know
for
what?
new missions. Looking for new
I
missions,
like
man. Like I need new inspiration, I need motivation, I need new things to put my energy towards.
it's really interesting you say that, man, because I feel that's right aligned with how a lot of people are feeling. I mean, one, the change in the weather and the
Yeah,
lighting, like right now it's like pitch black right now, like
yeah.
so dealing with those type of changes will have impact. Also know that there's like Mercury retrograde if you're into that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Monday or what's it called, like Sunday was like a new moon, so in the context of like emotions and things of that nature being kind of like all over the place, it's not like an odd thing for you to say like at this time. So with that being said, like you're not like the only one, and you're playing it right in these moments. I think the best thing you can do is just to feel, and to be reminded that emotions and feelings are fleeting. You're going to feel like this for a little while and then it'll pass. So it's kind of like looking at it from that perspective and just being like,
yeah.
okay, what is it bringing up, like it might bring attention to certain things, and that's cool, and but just let it just flow through, what I'm saying? So
Thank you, man. You're right. You're right.
yeah,
I do feel that way, but I know I like the central energy is just like kind of it is the winter thing, it is the
yeah,
transitional thing, politics, stress, and just but yeah, we just know the mission continues, and
that's it.
when one of us falls, man, one of us we each one teach one, man. So I'm looking at other people to pick me up, man. How are you doing, man?
I was just about to say that, it's like, when we're going through things, it's also important to like also like reach out to friends and family or whoever we can. So to know that we're not alone, but we also have to like let people know that we need support as well, because people aren't mind readers as well, right? So
That's so real.
but yeah, with that being said, yeah, man, I'm doing well. I've been really reflecting on um going to New York, to see Kamau. Kamau has his joint at the Apollo. He's doing his I guess like his performance mixed media presentation on Loss, and I saw that and I was like, it'd be kind of dope just to see Kamau in New York. You know what I mean? So, anyways, my brain has been meditating on that a lot and thinking to myself, I haven't been to New York for a good like 10 years, and it's in Harlem, and so anyways, that's just kind of like where my head has been for the past like couple of days, just really thinking about seeing if I can make that happen. I know that show is happening in June, not June,
January. Yeah.
January 9th to 15th. So just after like New Year's and whatnot.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
but like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got a homie that has a air like a Haitian brother. This Haitian brother who actually kind of documents hip hop. Not kind of, he really does document hip hop, and he only stopped last summer because he had his kid last summer. And the last show that we went to was the Yankee Stadium show, and it's a
Oh yes.
this wonderful brother who feels like fam, and he's Haitian, and he's got a like a black owned Airbnb in Harlem that is walking distance to the Apollo. So I'm just telling, like, I've stayed with
Bro,
him. I've stayed with him 3 times. He's family, and he's like,
listen,
yo, anytime you come to New
listen.
York, you got a spot in Harlem if you want. And like, I want you to link with him, not only because he like runs a like black owned Airbnb, but like he is us. Like he was documenting, videotaping all the rap shows for like 15
Man,
years.
oh man.
So yeah, I
Yo,
just wanted to
that's
like
okay.
I may or may not be able to go with you, but like either way, like I want to give you that link and like And like
it's too aligned. It's too aligned. Everything you're saying, I'm like, come on, like this is
yeah,
an
exactly.
alley oop.
Layup right there. And like I walked to the Apollo Theater twice from his spot.
Amazing,
There weren't
amazing.
even events there. We were just going. I was going to the Yankee Stadium. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I'm like
Yeah, no. So with that being said, well, for one, like, just come out and like what he means to me and hip hop and culture, and for him to do such like an important show outside of Toronto, like just I just want to see experience come out outside of Canada. I think that's going to be a really interesting thing. But that's not all. What I'm also interested in going to Harlem for is, the Allah School of Mecca, which is like the hub for like the nation of gods and earths, the 5% nation, which is also within walking distance from the Apollo. So it's all
amazing.
like in Harlem, like all this energy of just like black excellence and whatnot. So I'm looking to like, get some documentation, just, vibe out and culture and whatnot. And I think these elements, I like it's already seeming basically the universe is saying, yes, go forth, my son. Go
Yes,
forth.
for real. The alignment is here. Yes. Yeah. Just walk into it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm, the vibe that I'm on right now. And yeah, man. So like what's on your mind in hip hop right now, man? There's quite a bit of updates and things happening.
There's updates, but I want to I want to go alignment with the actions that I'm partaking in, and
Let's do it.
I want to kind of
What's on your
make a
mind?
comment. Make a comment. Let me just plug my computer in. I want to make a comment about actually I want to expand it a little bit and not just talk about one level of it, but
Okay.
I saw somebody make an interesting comment, and they said, "Why don't Jay-Z and Beyonce's businesses seem to do that well?" And the reason that this comment was made is because Jay-Z's Monogram, the company is called Monogram. Jay-Z had a weed company, and it's been a
Yeah.
couple of years. It's called Monogram, and it's going into bankruptcy right now. And it's just another one of, Jay's had some successful businesses, but this one has been a failure and lost multiple millions of dollars. Like I think
Wow.
$250 million or something like that. So and yeah, he was trying to sell $50 joints, which is
What
absurd.
listen, man.
Absurd, absurd.
I
So
got no words for that. $50
yeah,
joints, like really?
50 like Jay might be able to sell like $50 shoelaces or $50 like money clips or $50 hats. So like, that's not even a lot for a cap, but like for
Nah,
one joint of weed, no, Jay,
listen.
no. I don't like no human being on the planet is growing weed
No,
that
no,
the
no.
average human
We
being. No way.
it goes against the whole like moral code of cannabis. Like to me, like that's stuff like that is supposed to be accessible. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's supposed to be accessible. It's what like brings people together. It's a conduit for unity and whatnot, and should be treated as such.
Yeah.
It's like his approach is the same approach that pretty much got cannabis in this whole predicament in the first place, with like whole like propaganda of marijuana and whatnot, and this like capitalist mentality, right? Of like
Yes.
creating destruction. So it's such
Yeah,
like a
exactly. Which
capitalist approach, and yeah,
which is not sustainable, not only for
yeah,
like OCS, the Ontario Cannabis Service, or even Jay-Z, notorious billionaire New York crack dealer. Like you're selling
yeah.
crack, like you didn't. I never heard of no crack where it was like, this crack is so good, we're gonna like make it like 10 times the product, 10 times the
Yeah,
value of the stuff on the street. People would be like, I don't care. No, I'm just gonna get the regular price stuff. Like the quality is, it's like
yeah,
buying a car. Like it's just absurd, absolutely
yeah,
absurd.
yeah,
So this
yeah.
is one of Jay's selling businesses, and this is to say, like Beyonce was kind of selling some alcohol recently, and it's not really selling that well. And they've had some stuff that's,
Listen,
but
all
like,
I know, the only person I've seen in hip hop that has really transcend and has crossed that like corporate like sponsorship marketing game is Snoop Dogg. Like that guy is like on like any and everything. Somehow he's been able to like, Snoop Dogg air freshener, like
Yeah,
Cocoa Puffs. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah, absolutely. And for sure, like, like he's kind of watered down a bit, but he's not Donald Trumping himself really, where it's
no,
like
no, 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 no.
most of the things are like alignment in Snoop's ethos. Like
For
it's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
most of them, he still does a couple little things where it's like, wow, really? Like, oh shit, but a paycheck's a paycheck, and
Yeah.
he's a personality.
Snoop.
Yeah, he was that actually just quickly speaking about it, like the new single came out and it sounds fire. Like the
What?
new
Yeah.
yeah, the second single for the Dre Snoop album, Missionary.
Right,
So
right,
yeah,
right, right, right.
they have a new song called Out the Blue. Oof.
Okay. They're coming
Like
with it.
yo, no, so Dre, Dre's a slacker. He might be working every day, but he doesn't
Yeah,
put out his music. He just holds on to it in the vault.
yeah.
But Snoop and Dre, they were like, we are 50-year-old men. We are doing this tribute to the Doggy Style album. It's 30 years later, and we are not slacking on it. The pictures
Okay.
are beautiful.
Okay.
The video I saw has like it's like a super money video with like hundreds of people. They are like, we are making this a moment. So they're dropping it next Friday. It's coming out December
Yeah.
13th, and the Missionary album looks like it's going to be massive. Last thing is, there, like I said, it's going to be big. Hip hop's going to get the moment where we got 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem on a Dr. Dre beat. So
Okay. So basically, what you're trying to tell me is that there could be a summer tour
you
brewing potentially, is what I'm hearing between the
already,
lines.
you already know.
That's what I'm hearing. Because to see, I've seen Snoop twice, perform twice. Uh, And I think it would be really dope to see him and Dr. Dre hold it down. I think that'll be a pretty cool vibe. And again, like just to see, hip hop elders, these guys are approaching elder status. And like I don't care if Snoop comes out in a wheelchair and if he's still rocking, I'm coming. I'm supporting just off the strength of hip hop. I don't care. He
That's
might
it. That's
forget
it.
his lyrics. That's okay. We got him at that point. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah. We rock until the wheels fall off. For
we
for
have
sure.
to. We have to.
Literally. And M dropped an album this year. M rarely tours.
Okay.
People know that Eminem is a recluse and he likes to stay in
Eminem.
Detroit. But he dropped an album this year. And so why would not? And he hasn't toured it yet. He's only done a few concerts. He's done a spot date in Austin and a spot date in London, England, actually. So you'd be like, yo, why don't they just for one last time do Up and Smoke kind of round two and just be
Hmm.
touring Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg next summer? That would be the biggest event of the year, and we will be there.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Well, speaking of like big events that are coming up, there's been a lot of, stuff happening in the media with Kendrick Lamar and Drake and lawsuits and, all these different things. And, breaking news just in today, Kendrick has announced a tour that will be taking place in April 2025 to June 2025. And on June 12th, there is a Toronto date.
Oh,
June 12th, Toronto date at the Rogers Center.
ah,
So not the Scotiabank Arena, not at History, not at I'm trying to think what other venue could be
no, that is
remotely.
tour.
Yeah, this is Air Canada. I mean, not Air Canada, the Rogers Center, the Sky Dome, the Sky Dome. Now, I wonder if that was like a strategic thing, right? To go like, what's like the most Toronto venue that you can do? You know, the Sky Dome. It's always
I
going to be the Sky Dome to us. But so anyway, so that's happening, and people online are having up alarms and they're going off about it. So this is what people are talking about. What are your thoughts, man? What are you thinking?
It'll be interesting, it's really cool to see them kind of play this post battle chess, because I think it's really interesting to where Drake's like, okay, well, Kendrick is totally going to have America's attention come February, come Super Bowl time. come
Yeah,
Grammys. So Drake's like, fuck it, I'm gonna just pivot and be on the other side of the planet. And the Australia tour is like expanding right now. Like
for sure. Yeah,
I think he laid down 8 dates, but in the last couple of days he added 2 or 3 dates because he's
yeah,
just like getting extra. And I'm like, that's just a slick pivot, man. He's like, all right, you just run America, I'll be on the other side of the globe,
yeah,
just still making my money and touring up. So then Kendrick's like, all right, you do that, and then when your tour is a little done, I'm gonna just run up my tour, and then I'm gonna pay your little hometown a visit. So they're just doing this kind of back and forth, interesting chess
yeah.
moves. And yeah, man, I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah, like it is a smooth way, and like I always said about Drake, man, is that he knows how to pivot. He knows how to like strategically maneuver around. He's like Neo from the Matrix and whatnot. Like he really does that, and that has been a consistent thing throughout his career for those who've been like following and whatnot. So yeah, I think like Australia is a brilliant move, and as you can see, there's clearly a demand for it. I saw
Yeah.
this one post that was saying that someone was like in queue to get a ticket, and it was showing how there was like 200,000 people ahead of that queue that were trying to get tickets. So it shows that there's a demand. And hey, if he can just keep adding shows, and he's like doing like 30 shows in Australia, I mean, like, why not, right? Why not? And who knows, that might lead into like a European tour, an extension, or some other spots that typically don't really get that kind of like love or whatever. I think there is like a huge opportunity for that. And yeah, like you said, like by the time he comes around, I know that he will at some point do like an American tour. Like he'll definitely come back to that for sure.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how all this is going to be played. um Speaking of this whole beef, now I don't know if this is like official or if this is just like rumors, but I saw something along the lines of that the NHL like reached out to Lil Wayne or something along those lines, where they were considering having more of like a New Orleans tribute kind of vibe. In other words, not having Kendrick as the headliner. I don't know if that's true, but I saw something along those lines,
You
and I
mean
was
the
like,
NFL? You mean the NFL?
the NFL, yeah, yeah, was considering or making a suggestion. I don't know if it was official or whatever or not. I was just curious to know if you've heard anything along those lines.
I didn't hear anything about that yet. Wow. No, I
Hmm.
didn't hear that information. That
Um,
would be interesting. Yeah, we'll wait and see. I saw that the city of New Orleans did create a plaque in honor. I think they did have a walk of fame, and Lil Wayne is one of the first people on it. So they're about to give him a star on the New Orleans Walk of Fame.
okay, so
Yeah, but I didn't hear about that L pivot.
yeah, so this came out November 29th. NFL
Oh,
reportedly contacted Lil Wayne to replace Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl amid Drake lawsuit. On good legal tension involving Kendrick Lamar and Drake. National Football League is reportedly considering replacing Kendrick Lamar with Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl, February 9th.
wow. Wow.
Also, those issues stems from Drake's legal concerns that Kendrick Lamar might perform "Not Like Us" in the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if this is like okay, like I don't know if this is an official site or whatnot. This is like the Express Tribune. I don't know, but
Where is this? Where Tribune? What? Who is this? Is at the top? The what Tribune? The Express Tribune? Hmm.
Tribune, yeah, the Express Tribune, today's paper.
Um,
Um, I'm not so like I
say,
said,
hold
like
on. Yeah, who is? Look for who wrote the article. Is
okay,
there
maybe some right.
is there a name of somebody? Yeah, at the bottom. No, they
It's not looking like it.
don't. Hmm.
So I don't know, So, anyways, I saw something like this. It could be something. It could not be. I guess we will stay tuned and we'll see what's up. Um, who knows? Who knows?
Interesting.
It
Interesting.
is.
Yeah,
It is pretty interesting.
and yeah, like it's yeah, that it's partially it could be a rumor for sure, but also like with the legal stuff around that song. Like it's not actually beyond the NFL to like play it super safe and pivot a bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. From that perspective, for sure, for sure.
yeah, they're like these
So
people.
we're definitely going to see, but we are living in some interesting times where we're kind of seeing like the next level of things, like how far can things go and how do things like evolve, and because this this has been going on for quite some time, and it just keeps getting revived. You know what I mean? As something comes up, it's like, okay, now the song's back on the chart again or something. So
Yeah,
it's interesting. Like we haven't seen this kind of like play before.
no, and I think a lot of it has to do with the internet. I just want to say,
Yeah,
like, I saw some people do some top 10 lists, and a couple people are saying, "Not Like Us" is the biggest and best diss song of all time, and I will step my foot down and be like, no fucking way. I can be like, y'all can enjoy it, you can love it the most of all time, but
yeah.
some people are saying that it has the best lyrics and best beat and did the most damage of all time, and
No,
I think that's
no, no,
nah,
no, no, no.
no way.
It definitely had a strong like moment. You know what I mean? In terms of like I saw that really just had some moment that was just explosive, where it was like this next level of engagements. You got grandmas and like children, and like it's nuts. Like what I mean?
Yeah,
From that perspective, yes. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
as like an entity.
Yes, and for sure, and I'm not going to say that that didn't happen for sure, and that's still happening to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But one, the internet has a lot to do with it. It's 2024,
Yup.
and like memes and all that stuff, TikToks and all that stuff. So yeah, but like I'm not putting that song lyrically or even beat wise above like "Hit 'Em Up" and "Ether" and "Take Over" and like "Back Down" and like real like massive moments. Because if Ether came out in these days and times, Nas would have the same run of memes and whatever. If it was like
Mm.
that was 2001 though, it's 23 years ago. So like literally, it's not gonna like the bitch and you and Hit 'Em Up can't impact the culture the same way because they only had
Yeah.
cassettes and mixtapes. Like there were no memes, but like we're still talking about those songs. So
Yeah.
yeah, those kids. Yeah, man. Like, and I'm not saying you can enjoy the song, run it up, have fun, play it all day. But like, when people are like, "This is the best diss song ever in history," be like, no, hip hop wasn't big enough for like Hit 'Em Up to like be nominated for a Grammy at that time. But like, there's no doubt in the world. There's
Yeah.
like,
Well, let's just meditate on that for a second. Imagine, this era in social media back then when Hit 'Em Up dropped. Like, imagine, having social media, the backing of social media during that time period. Like the Source Awards, all of that. Like how amped it was just through like magazine interviews and radio interviews. Add like the social media commentary where everybody and their moms could have an opinion. Yeah.
yeah, and
How
no,
crazy.
yeah, and compare how Kendrick is like drop some songs, but he's kind of like hidden Mr. Boogeyman
Yeah,
supposedly, whatever.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of, and Tupac is Mr. I'm up in everybody's face. I'm in all the
Facts.
magazines. I am not afraid to talk to nobody. Tupac would have been like, yo, running everything. He would have had memes and jokes and all day, every day. People were like, he would have done
Yeah.
that Buffy and Piggy, the jokes
Right.
that they make,
Oh my gosh.
the clowning of Biggie and Puffy, like
It would have been
man,
amplified. It would have been so amplified.
he would gas it up by 10, man, and like Pac would
Yeah,
be like the king of the internet, man.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
when you think about him, because like in those moments, like he was already doing, acting and having like the film stuff. So like he was like one of the artists to really step into that. And so extra feeling himself, and it would have been wild. It would have been so wild.
yo, man, he would have been, yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, that it would have been obviously way more massive, and yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, not to people.
Yeah. No
I just like
worries.
to now let's get it all in perspective. To quote my boy Nas. But yeah, word up. Yo, ASC, yo, thanks. I feel that pure gaslighting. Yeah. So, anything else happening in the news? What else is
Well,
on
you
your
did
radar?
mention, shout out to Eminem, condolences to his
Oh yeah,
moms. Yeah, I know you mentioned his mom's passed away, so rest in peace to her. And it's
rest
just
in peace.
so interesting, because they obviously are familiar with like the relationship and that he's had with his mom over the years, and from my understanding, there was a moment where he was able to, I guess, mend the relationship. From my understanding, he was able to connect back with her and find some type of peace, um, and whatnot. So I'm happy to hear that kind of a conclusion. So condolences to the brother Eminem and the mom Dukes, and you know,
Right, that's right. Peace,
yeah, man,
Debbie. Thank you for giving birth to one of the greatest rappers. And yeah, yo, like, M's
yeah,
feeling it probably really hard right now, man. He's in his having a
yeah,
Kanye moment.
the power
Yeah,
of like forgiveness and on all that kind of stuff. It's one of those like reminders.
yeah, exactly. Before it's
And,
all said and done, yeah. And yeah, yo,
yeah,
yeah. Peace to Debbie. Um,
true
but
indeed, man.
yeah,
True
yeah.
indeed.
What else? What else? I don't know. Um, oh yeah, the I guess that that AGO event is happening on Friday. The culture.
Oh, it's on Friday. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's December 5th. Or
That's
yeah,
right.
or the 6th, I think. Yeah. So
Okay,
CB,
that's peace.
yeah, CB, not CBC. The AGO. AGO is
That's
having a
right.
hip
That's
hop
right.
event.
That's right.
Michi Me is going to be a celebrated person there, and yeah, yeah,
That's right. Well, that sounds like something to roll up on. To get some footage and build and connect all that good stuff.
yep. Um, yeah, man, yeah.
What else is in
They be
the
trying.
news? Anything else coming up? What's up?
Yeah, well, on the fifth, like we already said, on the 15th is Buckshot, Smith and Wesson, and Havoc and Big Noid.
Yeah,
And
hey, you know what? Speaking of Mob Deep, it's really interesting because I've been listening to Prodigy's like audiobook,
oh,
like his
word,
autobiography, and like the audio version. Like I don't know if I feel like you've read the book, no? Like you have his book.
yeah,
So
yes,
yeah,
I
like
have.
in my infamous life, and it's surprisingly like insightful. I would even say even more insightful than like Raekwon. Raekwon was pretty insightful too. Like he really, really got a picture. But I really got to really see like Prodigy's like upbringings and just like his experiences, even like with like sickle cell and whatnot, and just like listening to it and giving context to like his evolution through his music and just lifestyle and whatnot. It's just a real eye opener, and I'm so glad that he was able to like have his autobiography, because now that he's transitioned to it just really gives context to him, his craft, his art, and just like how he's like was able to like manifest through the world and whatnot.
You're
So
right.
yeah, no, it's really powerful, and it's like read by him too, so it's like in his voice as well, which makes it extra dope.
Yeah, you're right, man. And I remember just some really just wild shootouts and stuff, like some scraps that he had with some cats, and
Yeah,
just like, and if it was really ill, like him talking about how the cops were trying to bribe him and get him to like
yeah,
take 50 cent down, and he's like, yo,
yeah.
man, like, this is grimy as hell.
No, like it's like real stuff, and it's like wow, these guys are really in it, and the lifestyles are like so dangerous where literally anything at any moment could happen. You know what I mean? It's like not this like guarantee, like there's so many circumstances that are just crazy,
So
crazy. But
just
one
mad.
part I did like about it, what I did like the description of him talking about like the legendary New York club called the Tunnel.
Oh
'Cause we've
yeah,
been hearing about that, and there's so many different references. But when he said he was like the Tunnel, he was like, "Yo, this was the illest spot. This was like basically our generation Studio 54." And I was
yeah.
like, "Okay, when you say it like that, now I have a picture. Now I got a mental picture." I'm like, Okay, now I get it. Now I understand why it's so legendary.
Yeah, you're right, man. Oh, some super, super grimy stories about
So
the
that's
tunnel.
the way how he was describing it, man. And he was like, it was just nuts because you had every crew representing in that spot, so anything could pop off, but it was just intense, So
You know,
yeah,
word up, word up. So,
New York, man, New York,
Prodigy. Oh, love you, P. Man,
always, man. Bandana P, yo.
P Dub shine regardless, yo. Oh, man, oh,
It's a
man. Yo.
natural poet, natural poet.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Just for me, he was like the biggest little king. He was the king that went up against everybody else. Like he beefed with Nas, he beefed with Jay, he beefed with
Mm,
Cameron,
mm,
he beefed with 50, he beefed with
wow.
all the New York kings, and he was a king too, but like only to like the heads. Like he was like
Yeah.
the down low king, the underground king of New York.
Mm,
But,
true, true.
yo,
What's up, B?
mm, made me think actually. I watched a show recently. It was since we're waiting for power to come back. Um,
Yes, come on. Where you at?
yeah, 50 needs to serve that crack up. But so I was waiting for power to come back, and I've been, I also do a little bit of acting, so I like to just
Hmm?
watch and 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 do dialogue along when I'm watching a show. So I discovered a show recently called The Madness, and it's pretty dope.
Madness.
It's yeah. So do you know Coleman Domingo? So he's a black actor. It's pretty dope.
Sounds
Uh,
familiar. What shows what was he in?
he's not real like he's like this like he's an older black actor. I think he's like 50s, 60s, but
Okay.
he's not really been anything too huge, but he's totally been in a bunch of things as a supporting dude, and you have
Okay.
seen
Got you.
Coleman
Got you.
Coleman Domingo is dope. So Dion Cole, the comedian, is actually also in it as a supporting role. He doesn't have
Hmm.
much of a big role, but he's in it. And there's a couple other actors, but the story is about Coleman Domingo. He's a CNN journalist, and he's just like a black news commentator.
Okay.
And then he's like going to go write his book. He's like, hey, whatever. I'm a black media dude. And he's like, I'm writing a book. So he goes to write a book, rents out a cottage, and then he finds out his next door neighbor at a cottage is this white dude. So he's just like, his power goes off. So he goes to his neighbor's house. He's like, oh, hey, neighbor, I need some help. My power went out. It's this white dude. So then
Yeah.
he like goes back to his house to get something and then returns to the neighbor to like be like, oh, okay, hey, my power's out. And then he discovers the neighbor dead. And
Oh shit.
yeah, and then like some two white supremacist dudes run up on him, and it looks like he killed the dude.
Oh,
And
one of those kind of like fugitive vibes, kind of.
yeah,
Okay, got you. Got you. Got you.
and then he's like trying to tell the cops, and like this, so it's essentially this black media commentator gets framed for the death of a white supremacist, and it gets pretty ill, man. It gets pretty ill.
Okay. You know something? I did see that pop up on my Netflix, but I gave it a little bit of a chance, but I didn't give it a chance. So now that you seem pretty invested, so I'm gonna give it a shot and see what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. It's pretty slow. It's like 8 episodes, 40 minutes each. It's not too long, but it's a bit of an
Yeah.
investment. But it's good, man. It's good. Good old good black supporting characters. They actually dip into some Panther history a little bit. It's pretty cool.
Mm,
And they're just talking about like black people like fighting the power in America. They're just like, yo, man, like and it doesn't tie into the title a bit, but a little. They're like, yo, man, like you kind of we going crazy, like taking on the system and taking on white.
yeah.
These just racist white motherfuckers. Like, how we gonna do it with our mind or with guns or with
Mm,
some other means? And they get into some pretty dope shit.
okay. Okay. Well, that's like the television recommendation right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No, that sounds peace, man. That sounds peace.
It's all right. It's all right. Yeah,
all right,
I saw
man.
some. Yeah, I saw some critic kind of shit on it a bit more than I would have. And I was like, I liked it, but somebody might have some slight issues with it. But whatever, I was feeling it. And,
Mm. Okay, okay.
but yeah, man, it's yeah, definitely in this day and time, there's a few real relevant issues that are just that are touched upon. So shout out to that. And yeah,
Good.
did you didn't see Gladiator 2 yet, did you, with Denzel?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
peep
something
that.
that I should check out. Is what you're trying to say?
I haven't seen it yet. But
Oh,
like I'm in the same position. I'm like, let's just see what Denzel's up to. I heard that I heard that he's good in it, but I heard that some people don't like the movie itself. So
interesting, interesting. All right, well,
yeah,
I'll definitely check it out, man. Big up to Denzel, man, for all the years that he's given us, man, of just nonstop bangers, just crazy. Yeah,
banger.
yeah,
Yeah, we gonna
yeah,
get
man.
at least one more Denzel and Spike Lee movie before he retires. So I'm glad.
True, true
Yeah,
indeed, man. True indeed. All right, well, I guess so. We could sign off like that. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add on, anything else that's on the mind when it comes to the culture or reminiscing about Toronto. I know, like, have you done any, I guess, any or have you had the chance to go through some of the tapes that you've had, of your archives? Anything that has popped up that you're just like, okay, let me bookmark this because I need to come to that.
yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I did find I only have a few tapes left. I've gone through. I need two cameras. I have a mini DV camera and I need a super VHS camera. So I
Yeah,
have or a super 8 or so I have
Super 8, yeah,
yeah, I have two formats of cameras. So on one of them, I have only been going through the mini DV cameras, and on one
yeah.
of these tapes, I got this tape that's full of gold. It is a 2004 the Metro Hall Hip Hop Summit.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I
I
feel like
got
I
I
might have some of that too. I was there
oh
too.
oh man, this tape like back to back. It starts off with special ed, and then it goes to me talking to Royce the 5'9", and then goes
Wow.
and then it goes to actually me interviewing G Stokes and me both interviewing Chuck D. So
What?
I'm holding the camera and G Stokes is there, and we're both back and forth talking to Chuck D. And then oh yeah, and then CL Smooth is also on it. And
What?
I'm like, this
That
tape
was
is
such an
insane.
interesting show. Such an interesting show. Like at Metro Hall, like a hip hop show. So interesting.
Yeah, you're right. And when I was the CL Smooth part, well, I'm talking to them, and just over their shoulders, you can see behind into the event, and you could see Metro Hall, and like there's enough people there. So I haven't seen the entire thing. I was just scrolling through it just to see what was there,
Yeah.
and but yeah, that's one tape, and whew, that's an event that very few people remember. Like I'd love people to know that history
Mhm.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
that
True
was that
indeed.
was one of the very first like American Canadian shows that was like set a
Wow.
foundation. Have Americans be like, yeah, we know y'all are dope, and we're gonna support y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, and then I have another tape. Yeah, I found a Coup concert, and I swear it's at the Reverb. And I gotta double check, but somebody passed away. They had a tour bus accident like 10 or 15 years ago, and somebody passed away in the members of the band
Oh.
of the
Okay.
Coup. Can't remember who, but I remember that happening. And I think this concert is from before that accident.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
that's like I need to like get more details of that, but I do remember that happening. So
Mm.
this is old school. Yeah. So and I have more tapes to get. I know there's a bunch of hip hop ciphers from In Divine Style. There's at least 2 or 3 tapes, just ciphers.
Yes. Yes. Well, we need all of that, man. That's like the important archive right there, man. So, hey, I'm going to spend some time to get through my archives as well, and we're just going to continue this wave, man. Reminisce Show vibes, yo. So it's a lot of work to do, a lot of history that needs to be resurfaced so that we can collect what is useful and bring forward. You know what I mean? So we're going to sign off like that, man. Any closing words, brother?
Yeah, man, yo, it's just gonna keep going, yo. Just didn't come this far to quit. I think, man. I think I just gotta.
That's it.
I gotta find the team. Thank you very much for your consistent faith and support, yo. Because
Get it.
some people just don't quite see the vision, and right now it's just like, yo, we just gotta, you understand the value and of and the importance of what we do, and some people just don't. So
that's right. Well, people will eventually, like we're building Noah's Ark right now. You know what I'm saying? So y'all better get on board, man, before it's 40 days of rain and all that kind of stuff, man. So yeah, man, we're gonna sign off